Once that was doable, fast food was able to exist. Once restaurants such as McDonald's came about, people couldn't get enough, and the growing popularity for such a thing grew and grew and is still so present today. While there are many arguments that certain people would make for factory farming, I am choosing to discuss the most popular one. That is, industrial farming is cheaper, pasteurized meat is too expensive for everyone to afford. While that is true, people need to ask why. How is it that real chicken can be pricey, yet McDonald's chicken is so cheap? That's because bad food was fed to animals and they lived in cheap conditions, and that made it possible. So if you want cheap chicken, you aren't getting it, you're getting genetically modified chicken. The survey that I examined in my report was by the Sentinel Institute, and there were 3 key findings that I wanted to share and point out. That is, 97% of people agree that to or to not eat animals is completely up to them. While that is true, it is up to them. What about the animal who isn't choosing to grow up in a terrible environment and just be killed way before their lifespan ends? That's why government really needs to recognize the rights of animals in factory farms and born into factory farms, not as objects, but recognize them as they do animals outside of factory farms. 75% usually buy animal products from animals that are treated humanely. There's no way to ensure that unless they're actively visiting the factory or farm that the animal products are coming from. 58% think most farmed animals are treated well. Well, the ignorance in that statement is the think part. How can you assume most animals are treated well? That doesn't do anything to help animals that aren't being treated well by just assuming everything's fine on the other end. So some arguments against factory farming. Animals take time to grow and have somewhat long lifespan. That's why meat was once something only rich people could eat because it was less accessible. Now everyone is used to eating meat at any price because it's not a luxury, it's a commodity at the disposal of an animal's lives and health problems for the humans down the road. In the end, it's the big guys profiting off of cheap products that they probably wouldn't eat themselves. The people buying their food are being fed the same bad diet that's fed to chickens and cows, and the people at the top don't care because it's not their lives, it's not their health. Some simple solutions I'd recommend is beginning with us as consumers to vote people into office who care about the quality of animals' lives. And in turn, even people that don't care about the animals' lives will still benefit from the better quality ingredients because animals will be treated well and brought up correctly on diets they should be on. The next would be to refrain from buying products from companies and restaurants get food from these factory farms. If they have no one to sell to, they'll cease to exist or be forced to make a change. After all my research, I came to the conclusion that people that are good to animals, who are things that can't speak up for themselves, can't tell on you if you treat them wrong, is what a good person is. If someone is willing to care for an animal with no rights, they most likely will treat humans the same way. German philosopher Arthur Schaffer says this: compassion for animals is intimately associated with goodness of character, and it may be confidently asserted that he who is cruel to animals cannot be good to man. Thank you for listening.